As we age, the brain inevitably changes. Neurons die, connectivity slows, and memory can falter. Yet, aging does not necessarily mean inevitable decline. In fact, the human brain remains remarkably adaptive, even in later life. This capacity, known as neuroplasticity, refers to the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. And increasingly, research is showing that creative engagement, through music, art, writing, and problem solving, can be one of the most powerful ways to preserve and even enhance cognitive function in the elderly. Creative activities tap into multiple regions of the brain simultaneously. When an older adult paints, plays an instrument, sings, or even engages in daily puzzle solving, they're not just passing the time, they're exercising memory circuits, stimulating motor coordination, engaging emotional processing, and reinforcing executive function. This multimodal activation is exactly the kind of stimulus the aging brain thrives on. Unlike passive behaviors, such as watching television, creative tasks demand attention, decision-making, improvisation, and imagination, all of which challenge the brain in dynamic ways that preserve its structural and functional integrity. Neuroimaging studies have revealed that participation in creative activities increases gray matter density in areas related to attention, emotion regulation, and motor planning. Even more compelling is the fact that elderly individuals who regularly engage in the arts tend to show slower rates of cognitive decline, better working memory, and even increased brain volume in specific regions compared to their less engaged peers. In some longitudinal studies, those who consistently pursued creative interests into their 70s and 80s had up to a 50% reduced risk of developing dementia. This isn't just correlation, it's the result of enriched brain environments. One of the most studied forms of creative engagement in aging populations is music. Listening to music activates reward circuits in the brain, elevating mood and decreasing stress hormone levels like cortisol. But playing music, whether it's the piano, violin, or drumming, goes even further. It enhances auditory processing, fine motor skills, and spatial temporal reasoning. Older adults who practice music regularly show better verbal fluency and working memory, possibly because of the way musical performance coordinates left and right hemisphere communication. For many centenarians in long-living communities, music remains a vital part of daily life, whether through singing traditional songs or attending communal events. Similarly, visual arts like painting or drawing offer rich cognitive benefits. They activate the occipital and parietal lobes responsible for visual and spatial processing, while also stimulating memory and attention. But perhaps more importantly, they provide a nonverbal means of emotional expression. Aging often brings with it complex feelings, loss, nostalgia, uncertainty, that can be difficult to articulate. Art gives voice to those inner experiences, reducing anxiety and enhancing emotional resilience. Many elderly individuals who begin painting or sketching later in life report improved mood, greater social connection, and renewed purpose. Puzzles and mentally stimulating games, like crosswords, Sudoku, and logic challenges, may seem simple, but they train the prefrontal cortex, the brain's control center for decision-making and focus. Regular engagement with puzzles is linked to slower hippocampal atrophy, a key region implicated in memory. In fact, researchers have found that those who do puzzles several times a week perform as well cognitively as people up to 10 years younger. While puzzles don't replace social or physical stimulation, they offer a convenient, accessible way to keep the mind active. Importantly, the protective effects of creativity extend beyond the cognitive realm. Creative activity also supports emotional well-being and a sense of identity. As people age, they often face a narrowing of roles, retirement, changes in family structure, physical limitations. Creative expression reopens the door to exploration, growth, and meaning. It transforms the aging process from one of decline to one of reinvention. This psychological uplift may itself contribute to brain health, as positive emotions and strong purpose have been shown to reduce systemic inflammation and protect against neurodegeneration. In regions known for longevity, such as Salento in southern Italy or the Greek island of Icaria, older adults often continue storytelling, crafts, traditional dancing, and singing well into their 90s. These are not hobbies. They are deeply integrated expressions of culture and continuity. They stimulate memory, reinforce social bonds, and preserve mental sharpness. And unlike artificial cognitive interventions, they emerge from joy, not obligation. The growing understanding of neuroplasticity invites a new approach to aging, one that does not fear the decline of the brain, but instead recognizes its potential for continual growth. The elderly brain, when nurtured with curiosity, novelty, and creative challenge, can remain vibrant and resilient. Even in the presence of mild cognitive impairment or early neurodegeneration, creative activity can provide scaffolding, alternative pathways that support daily function and enrich life experience. The message is clear: we are never too old to create and never too old to change. By engaging in music, art, and mental challenge, we do more than entertain ourselves. We actively reshape our brains. The canvas, the instrument, the pen, or even the puzzle become tools of renewal. And in that, there is something profoundly hopeful. Creativity, it turns out, may be one of the most enduring forms of medicine we possess, one that keeps the aging brain not just alive, but alive with possibility.